Now at 6, a man responsible for fostering kids in Vancouver now accused of child sex abuse. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us with more on the timeline police are investigating. Plus,
I just sort of fell into the role of ship physician as things deteriorated and more people got sick.
An Oregon doctor stuck on the hantavirus cruise ship, how he says he got roped into becoming the main doctor on board.
and we are tracking a wildfire in the Deschutes National Forest that started out as a prescribed burn. Sunrise at 6 starts right now. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on your Friday. I'm China Green.
And I'm Matthew Herchick. Glad to have you with us. Rod Hill is standing by with a look at our weekend weather. How are things shaping up, Rod?
Yeah, nice weekend coming up. Of course, Mother's Day on Sunday. We have an all dry Friday for you, kind of a partly cloudy day expected. Right now we have partly to mostly cloudy skies across the area. There's Salem Live, 47 degrees, a little bit cooler than it was 24 hours ago by, 3, 4, 5 degrees in spots. More of a cloudy scene right now, vividly seeing over downtown Portland from the Wells Fargo camera. 52 is the number. Our bus stop weather is good, though. Low 50s out the door. Moving forward, partly cloudy, nearing 60 at noon, and then nearing 70 when the kids get out of school. Right now could end up being the cloudiest part of our day. We'll see. That's your Friday update.
Okay, thank you. Well, we do want to remind you that the Hood River Bridge will be fully closed tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. The bridge will be lifting to allow a boat to come through and may reopen sooner depending on conditions. You can always check real-time traffic conditions on the bridge by going to portofhoodriver.com/livecamviewer. A Vancouver foster parent who has cared for more than 50 children is now being accused of child sex abuse.
A warning, some of the details in the story are disturbing. The suspect in this case has been a foster parent for more than a decade, and police worry that there may be more victims. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz in studio this morning with more. Thomas.
Yeah, guys, a Vancouver man named Daryl Slack, who fostered dozens of children, is now facing a series of charges from child molestation to rape and assault. According to court documents, a minor under Slack's care for 3 years reported multiple instances of sexual abuse. He says the most recent one happened a couple weeks ago during a visit to the home. The teen says he reported what happened so this doesn't happen again to anyone else. Last week, Vancouver police arrested 62-year-old Slack at his home. Officers say between 2013 to 2025, Slack fostered more than 50 children. Recently, a nonprofit called Fosterful decided to step up its support of kids going through the foster care system by creating the Caregiver Support Project, which provides an extra set of eyes and a confidant to kids.
Providing a trusted adult that gets to spend time with that kid and builds skills, talks about advocating for themselves, about protecting themselves, about their own bodily autonomy.
Sarah Desjardins is the executive director of Fosterful. She says most foster care parents have a heart of gold. Those situations like this one are part of the nonprofit's purpose. As for that suspect, Daryl Slack, he's due in Clark County Court this afternoon. Matthew.
Thomas, thank you very much. Meanwhile, Portland police say 6 teenage girls are now safe after they were rescued from sex trafficking. Now, officers say the girls as young as 13 were all found along 82nd Avenue and within 3 weeks of each other, though it's not clear if there's more of a connection.
As we work these investigations, I believe we'll find a thread or something that connects all these victims together.
The thing that we really need survivors to come forward with is trafficking, right? How they got there, who helped them get there, who's facilitating this, who's gaining the money from it.
This week, Portland City Council approved an ordinance that holds business owners accountable for human trafficking or drug trafficking near their properties. A business can be labeled a chronic nuisance if 3 or more reports are filed within 90 days, requiring the business to enhance security and better train its staff. And a reminder, if you or someone you know is a survivor of sexual assault and needs help, help is available 24/7. One resource is the National Sexual Assault Hotline. They can be reached at 1-800-656-4673.
A Tiger teenager who's been missing since March has been found dead of a suspected fentanyl overdose. 14-year-old Chayton Owings was found dead Monday along Portland's East Bank Esplanade. Police say evidence at this scene points to fentanyl, and they are now looking into how he got the drugs.
Find out who supplied him the drugs and then find out who supplied that person the drugs. And it's a long-term investigation. It's not one that wraps up quickly, and we put a lot of time and effort into these cases.
Owings is the first suspected juvenile overdose death Portland police have recorded this year. 4 children or teens died from overdoses in the city last year.
A bizarre arrest at PDX involving a man allegedly trying to smuggle 40 pounds of marijuana onto a flight to Chicago. According to court documents, TSA stopped Elijah Davis on Sunday after agents flagged his luggage. Each bag contained at least 20 vacuum-sealed bags of pot. Now, Davis reportedly told police that he was trying to make money and took responsibility and said he acted alone. He now faces multiple charges for unlawful possession, delivery, and transport of marijuana.
Oregon Supreme Court has unanimously upheld a Washington County law banning sales of flavored and menthol tobacco. The decision gives other Oregon counties a potential roadmap to enact similar bans, or in Multnomah County's case, unpause a ban. The decision comes 2 days after the FDA authorized the sale of flavored e-cigarettes for adults for the first time.
An Oregon doctor is sharing what happened aboard a cruise ship tied to the deadly hantavirus outbreak.
A doctor who is from Bend says that he stepped in to help passengers after the ship's primary physician became sick during the voyage. KGW's Corey Johnson is live this morning with more on the outbreak and the conditions on board. Corey.
Yeah, good morning, Matthew. China, what started as a dream cruise quickly turned into a medical emergency at sea. Dr. Stephen Kornfeld says several passengers became sick during the trip, and within days, that situation escalated quickly. Now, Kornfeld, an oncologist from Bend, boarded Hondias, the Dutch cruise ship, in early April for a 5-week bird watching trip, departing from Argentina. He says passengers first started getting sick several days into the voyage. At first, nobody realized the illnesses could be connected, but by late April, Kornfeld says the outbreak rapidly worsened. He learned one passenger who had been removed from the ship earlier had hantavirus, and soon after, another passenger died. As the outbreak spread, Kornfeld says the trip went into lockdown. Passengers were asked to stay in their rooms, wear masking covers, and avoid roaming the hallways. Kornfeld says when the ship's primary doctor became sick, he stepped up to help care for passengers, despite not specializing in infectious diseases.
There was really a lot of work to do, and I was ultimately working 12 to 18 hours a day. So you kind of get into that doctor work mode, and you don't think too much about the significance of all of this. You're just trying to do the best you can in the circumstances with somewhat limited resources on a cruise.
And Kornfeld says specialists from the World Health Organization are now aboard the ship and helping passengers. That ship is expected to arrive in the Canary Islands come this Saturday. And he still says that Americans on board that ship are waiting for guidance about how to safely get home. Matthew, China.
Corey Johnson reporting live this morning. Corey, thank you. Well, Portland Fire and Rescue were able to save a home from being destroyed by a fire. It broke out in the Elliott neighborhood last night. An outside fire ran up the side of the home and entered the attic. No one was inside the home. Firefighters were able to put out the fire within about 15 minutes, and the cause is under investigation.
And we're following a prescribed burn in Deschutes National Forest that has now been declared a wildfire. We're going to take a live look right now at current conditions. Here it is. The prescribed burn was declared a wildfire around 4 p.m. yesterday after burning about 1,500 acres. Officials say while weather conditions were within the parameters for a burn, multiple spot fires happened outside the boundary. Declaring a wildfire means additional resources can be dispatched to contain the fire.
Well, it's 6:09, time to get back over to Rod for a look at the forecast. And we're not going to see a whole lot of rain here in the near future to help.
No, in fact, one of the American models, the GFS model, shows less than an inch of total rain. Now, for the entire month of May, normal would be about 2.5 inches. There is a chance of rain maybe late Thursday into Friday of next week. But that's about it. Hey, I do want to show you on the map where that Pine Mountain fire is. If you're thinking, hey, I've got plans to be over in Central Oregon this weekend in Deschutes County, where here's US 97. There's Redmond, there's Sisters, there's Bend. Down here is La Pine, there's Bachelor. So this is well off to the east, just off of US 20, and then kind of a mix of some higher training getting down into some of the grasslands in Deschutes County. So that's kind of southeastern Deschutes County. Again, latest acreage report we have was about 1,500 acres. The weather wasn't bad yesterday, which is why they had a prescribed burn in the first place. There could be some gusty winds later today going into this evening, but overall to be like 74, 75 degrees and not bad over there. So let's hope we get good news on that situation later today on this Friday. We have a mostly cloudy start from the coast to the valley, but generally speaking, this is going to go on to be a partly cloudy Friday. That's Seaside Live. 51 degrees the temperature. Here are the clouds over the Reserve Golf Course from the Explore Tualatin Valley camera. 49 is the number out there, and there's downtown Portland. Temperature outside 52 degrees, so a nice start. We're running a little cooler than we were 24 hours ago. It's mid-40s up in Battleground. In fact, also 40s in Happy Valley, Oregon City. Wilsonville's at 49. Salem now down to 47. And there's a 44 in Silverton and 51 degrees up in Canby. So a little bit of a morning chill, but partly cloudy skies are coming. We'll warm up to about 70 up and down I-5, upper 50s to about 60 at the coast. And beautiful day coming in Bend, 73, Sun River 68 at 5 o'clock, and generally right around 70 out in eastern Oregon. Here's Mother's Day weekend. Tomorrow's warmer, mostly sunny, 79, maybe 80. And then Mother's Day, we still expect a big push of low cloudiness in the morning. And then assuming we get some developing sun during the day, we'll warm up to about 70. And after that, we go 80 maybe for 3 days in a row, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. That's your update.